Greetings, royal family. I'm back. Did you miss me? All right, welcome to another episode of What the Friday, the Saturday/Sunday edition. Wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this, welcome, welcome, welcome. So every Friday, I basically bring to you shenanigans, news in the pop culture, goings on that happened the week before. So I pick a couple just to kind of go over and talk about. So let's get right into it. Okay. First, Stacey Dash. So you guys know already, that Stacey Dash was arrested earlier this week for domestic battery. So, first of all, Stacey Dash, on her arrest report, it had her race listed as white. So a couple of people on social media and in my social circle were a little bit perturbed, to say the least, about Stacey Dash claiming white. One of my social group members basically said that they were arrested, okay, spilling tea on themselves, and they put down that they were Hispanic. Like, they didn't interview, them and say, what is your race, or what do you identify as, or yada, yada. So that could be very well what happened. But for some reason, I think that Stacey Dash identifies as white, especially because when she was working with Fox News, remember that? And she had some really interesting things to say about Black people as well as other racial groups. So I wouldn't be surprised if Stacey Dash herself considers herself white. Interesting though, her mom is Mexican and her father is Bayesian, from Barbados. But if she identifies as white, that's her business. Keep that same energy, Stacey. Keep that same energy. So her stepdaughter, what happened is, in their home with her husband and her stepkids, it appears that her stepdaughter must have jumped in her face. There was some sort of argument, and Stacey called 911. They have the 911 call online, and she was just basically saying that the stepdaughter jumped in her face, and the stepdaughter accused her of slapping her, to which her husband, her white husband, put Stacey in a chokehold. This is what Stacey Dash is alleging. So she defended herself. When the cops came to the residence, they did walk Stacey. I think they put her in handcuffs. They put her in handcuffs and they walked her to the police car. Stacey kept asking, "Am I being arrested?" And the officer was like, "Oh no, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it." So I don't know. Now, update. She's out of jail, which is good, right? And she's saying that she is too poor to afford an attorney. Now, here's what I find interesting. None of these high-sedity, highfalutin friends of yours that you made while working at Fox News Network were able to help you out, Stacey. Interesting. The tables do turn, and I'm not wishing anything bad on anyone, but I do want to know more about that whole husband putting her in a chokehold, because if the husband put her in a chokehold, why wasn't he arrested? So I don't know, royal family. If you have any more information or updates on the Stacey Dash arrest, put it below. Comment, let me know. Moving right along. Oh, Marlo. Y'all heard about Marlo? Marlo Hampton. You know Marlo Hampton as Nene's Good Judy, her BFF from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Marlo Hampton owes $13,000 in back taxes. $13,000. Marlo wears more than that on her shoes, on her feet alone. $13,000. So she's accused of owing back taxes for 2017, and the total amount that she owes for the year is $13,418.55. So the IRS has warned Marlo that if the debt isn't paid in full, they will begin the process of seizing her assets and property. $13K, sis. Have you seen Marlo's closet? Marlo has 2 pocketbooks, easy, pay off that debt. So I don't know if this is true. This is according to The Blast. That would be very interesting if the IRS has to seize your property. But even if they do, they take 2 pocketbooks and maybe a pair of shoes, you know, for interest, and Marlo will be good. People are criticizing Nene, saying that Nene should help her best friend out because Nene has money. Marlo has money too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's getting paid for being on, making her appearances on Housewives. So I don't think Nene is obligated to help out her friend just because she's best friends. I mean, Marlo, you're an adult. You know, you're a grown woman. Pay your taxes. You know what I mean? Pay your taxes. And like I said, the amount of Chanel bags, Gucci belts, and all that good stuff that Marlo has in her precious, precious closet, I think, like I said, 2 pocketbooks can absolve that debt. Moving along, Tokyo Toni, who is the mother of Black China, is getting a reality show on Zeus. Tokyo Toni Finds Love. So for those of you who don't know, The Real Black China is the name of Black China's reality show that comes on Zeus. Zeus is a app. And you do have to pay a monthly subscription fee in order to have access to all of the shows on Zeus, including Black China's show. So now Tokyo Toni is getting the show. I have one question. Why? Why? I don't want to see Tokyo Toni Finding Love. And of course, I have the option not to watch. But I'm going to watch just because I want to give you guys a review. I do review Tokyo Toni's... why do I keep saying Tokyo Toni? Oh my God. I do review Black China's show on my channel, and I feel like, you know, I'm doing a social service because there's a lot of people who do not want to pay $3.99 a month to see Black China. There are others who don't have access to it, so I provide free commentary for you guys. Be sure to check that out on my channel. Next up, Safaree and Erica Mena. Okay. Safaree is known as Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend. He will always be known as Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend, right? And Erica Mena, she is known for her being on Love and Hip Hop, I guess, right? She has music, I think. Like, she wanted to be a rapper, singer. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. So they're expecting their first baby. Now, Erica Mena, she does have a son. As far as the relationship is concerned, I don't know. You know, I know when she was on Love and Hip Hop, who brought up her son? I forgot who it was that brought her son up, and it just, she went off. Okay, she went off. So they're expecting their first child. You know, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, people have babies every day, B. Like, is this, you know, I guess. This was requested by one of my people. They're like, talk about this, talk about this. I'm like, okay, why not? I mean, I wonder if this is going to be like a setup for their for a storyline for Love and Hip Hop New York. Because, you know, Safaree, he bounces from, I think he was on LA. Erica was on what? New York and Atlanta. I think Safaree's probably trying to get on Atlanta, or he made an appearance, and then he was in New York. So we don't know. Safaree is getting that money. I'm happy for them. I wish them luck. I hope that they have a happy and healthy bundle of joy. Wendy Williams is up next, y'all. Now, this one was a last minute ad because I was flabbergasted, but I wasn't surprised because I remember when I did my first video covering Wendy Williams filing for divorce, I gave her some advice. And in my little world, I'd like to think that she listened. So Wendy Williams is ordered to pay Kevin Hunter $250,000 in order for him to find a place to live. So you know Wendy Williams filed for divorce. Kevin Hunter cheated on her and had a baby with Sharena, whatever her name is, a mistress that he's been allegedly dealing with for years, that the people are saying that Wendy knew. But I guess him having a baby was a total deal breaker. Makes sense. I get it. Now, their New Jersey house is their mansion that they have in New Jersey. That is still on the market. So he does have to move out. You know, Wendy got her own little condo apartment or whatever in Manhattan. So Kevin needs somewhere to live. So I guess she was ordered by a judge that she has to pay this amount. Look, I think that she should just pay it and move on, which is what I said in my very first video that I did when the news broke that Wendy was filing for divorce. Wendy, pay it and move on, girl. Because at the end of the day, you will make that money back. You are still employed. You're employable. So you'll be totally fine. As far as Kevin Hunter is concerned, you you know, his reputation is tarnished, and it was bad even before him and Wendy were married, if you grew up in that era. But anyway, so like I said, she's still employed. Her show's been renewed until 2022. Wendy, pay the $250K and keep it moving. She did say on her show that Sharina is probably, she kind of alluded to the fact that Sharina is like probably miserable because now you got a baby on your arm, you got to change diapers while she's out here living her best life. And there'll always be known, which is the worst part of this all, like Sharina, as even more so importantly, the baby that Kevin and Sharina had, that baby will always be known as the baby that was a product of extramarital affairs, you know, and it just sucks. It just really sucks for that child. Now, this is what I want to know, Royal Family. Get that in the comments and let me know. Do you want to hear Sharina's side of the story and Kevin's side of the story? Like, because Wendy has a show. She's a huge platform. Wendy is like, you know, the queen of media, right? And we often hear her side of things, right? Well, minimally. Like, she's just recently kind of opened up and started talking about it more. But would you be interested in hearing Sharina's side of the story or Kevin Hunter's side of the story as it pertains to like their relationship? If Wendy knew and was okay with it, but a baby was a deal breaker. Like, comment below and let me know what you think. I know that sounds crazy. Like, we don't want to hear what Sharina has to say. Like, she's a home-wrecking slut. Yada, yada. Kevin ain't no good. But if they did like a sit down with like a Diane Sawyer sit down, like, would you watch? I would. Because I would be curious to know, not that I would believe them, and I doesn't necessarily mean I 100% believe everything that Wendy is saying. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. We know Sharina and Kevin had a baby. We know that. But what led up to this? That's what I would want to know, you know? So Wendy seems to be handling it well. You know, she's moving on. But I do think, yeah, it sucks because it's like he cheated. He had a baby. Why should she be ordered to pay? I mean, I don't think Wendy's going to give any pushback about that. Like, if she could pay and just have him move on, I think she'll be fine with that. I think just pay it, girl. Pay it and get it over with. Because he was your manager. He did help build the brand as far as your TV career is concerned. Is he owed that? No, because he decided to, like, you know, break their vows and just make this a public mess. But just pay it. If you disagree, let me know respectfully, Royal Family. Get down in the comments. All right. There was a woman in the Bronx, okay? She decided to visit the Bronx Zoo. Outside of the entrance of the Bronx Zoo, she decided to puff on a little la because it was her birthday. So after she got high on whatever it is that she was smoking, because I refuse to believe it was just marijuana. No way. She decides to go into the section of the zoo where the lions were. And she crossed whatever barricade or whatever shrubbery or whatever protects the lions from, you know, the onlookers. She decided to cross that barrier, and then she began to dance in front of the lions. Brave woman. She was blasting Big Pun because she said, you know, shout out to Big Pun and shout out to the Bronx. Whatever. I want to know what was in that blunt. She then left the lions area, you know, unscathed. She wasn't mauled. And then went over to the giraffe section of the zoo, to which she entered into the space where the giraffes were. There was no video footage of that when she was by the giraffes. So, yeah, then she left the zoo, I guess. So I guess her mission was accomplished. Now, authorities have been looking for her. I don't know. I didn't follow up with this. I don't know if they found her. At the time that I saw this story, they did not issue a warrant for her arrest. I'm assuming they're probably going to question her and give her a fine. I don't know. But what was in that blunt though, honey? Because where was security? I mean, I've been to the Bronx Zoo several times and I've seen like security riding around. I've seen police officers there. This was a long time ago though, and people were filming this, and like she was really dancing, like she was, you know, Millie rocking in front of the lion. Like, literally, as close as this camera is to where I am, that's the vicinity that she was to the lion. Like, she was right there. And he was just looking like, sis, what are you doing? Like, you're going to get us all killed, you know? Now, I do think that she should be fine. As far as jail time, I don't know. I can't say. I mean, if they decided to like throw her in jail for like 7 days, I wouldn't be too mad about that. Reason being is because if that lion would have attacked this girl, then they would have wanted to put down the lion. You know, they would have wanted to kill the lion and all this other stuff. I just feel like stupid stuff like that, you know, it's a huge liability. And that's why when you go to certain zoos and places like that, they have all these strict rules. It's not even fun anymore because they have to take into account, you know, for the stupid people that come into this establishment and do stupid things. So I don't believe that there was just marijuana in that blunt. I think it was sprinkled with something else, God knows what. If that's what you want to do, sis, rock on with your bad self. But you need to leave Simba and them alone. Like, he was looking at her like, what are you doing? You know, and it was a mess. I didn't even believe this story when I heard it, but I saw it for myself and I was just like, why? You know, don't do drugs. Bottom line, don't do drugs. Royal family, be sure to like this video if you like it. If this is the first time that you're seeing my face, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. Royal family, make sure you meet me back here next week, Friday, maybe Saturday, depends on my schedule. Until next time, peace.